Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my presentation. My name is Jeanette Hector. The topic of my presentation today is To Kill a Mockingbird's hero, Arthur Radley, Boo Radley, and the modern period of American literature. The reason that this topic is useful for you is it can give you a good understanding of modern literature as well as show you that any person can be a hero. We're going to talk about three things. They are, first, modern period of American literature. Second, the racism in the South and the Scottsboro trials. Finally, we're going to look at a hero in the literature, To Kill a Mockingbird, authored by Harper Lee in the year 1932. First, I will summarize the literary period. The modern era has been a time of great change in the United States. World War I, the Great Depression, and World War II devastated the American people. Literature written with tension and struggles that create deep questions that actually never return fully reliable answers. The modern period in American literature begins in 1914 with the outbreak of World War I and ends in 1945 with the conclusion of World War II. The period includes works from just about every established genre. American writers of the period who felt disillusioned by the experience in the aftermath of World War I came to be called the Lost Generation, including such writers as Stein, Fitzgerald, Hemingway. That's the end of point one. Now we'll move on to the second point, which is about the historical period. To Kill a Mockingbird is set in the Great Depression. Harper Lee used the Scottsboro case as a spark to write the trial sequences in this novel. Lee was 5 when 9 young black men were accused and tried for rape of 2 white women. These alleged rapes took place in Alabama with high-profile trials and appeals during which the testimonies was suspected to be less than truthful. Many aspects of the historical trial records and Lee's childhood are fictionalized and written into her novel To Kill a Mockingbird. Lastly, I will move to the third point, which is about Boo Radley, our hero. Boo Radley, or Arthur Radley, turns out wasn't the man people had characterized him to be. Yes, he was a recluse, but he was also a victim of fear and prejudice. You see, it's natural reaction for victims of prejudice to be fearful of their neighbors. Boo Radley had every reason to remain a recluse safely inside his parents' house, but events on this one night warrant action and no one else was around to help. When you've been wounded by prejudice, tossed aside by fearful people, and left to die alone, you begin to see life differently than your neighbors. You develop a certain sensitivity lacking in other people. Boo Radley had been hurt by life. He has spent most of his life as an outcast, and he has been wounded by loneliness. This is someone we would never suspect to be a hero. Yet he had the grace to take his experience of fear and loneliness and hurt and turn it into courage and strength. Boo Radley was the unlikely hero of Harper Lee's story, not simply because he saved Jem and Scout from danger in the end of the book, but he did it with greatness. He changed the world, actually. Boo Radley broke the cycle of fear, mistrust, and prejudice that separated the community and society, and he opened the door for healing and new life. In a single act of courage, Arthur Boo Radley found his humanity, saved the lives of 2 children, and saved society and his community. And that's all for this point. In conclusion, in this presentation, my objectives were to discuss modernism in American literature, the historical significance of To Kill a Mockingbird, and my hero, Arthur Boo Radley. I have covered 3 main points. Modernism in American literature. We talked about the history and the period and time of To Kill a Mockingbird, and we finally discussed the hero, Boo Radley. I hope you found this presentation useful. Thank you.